is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I'm coming to you with a TBR. This is my Halloween 2024 TBR. So of course I'm sitting back here in the atrium in the hospital filming this. And yeah, so basically I wasn't gonna do a TBR and then I got my arm twisted. Storm over at Storm Reads is participating in this readathon that I'd heard people talk about, but I'd seen a couple other videos come up, but I hadn't. So last night I took the time to sit and watch. Kelsey over at Slime and Slashers, and I will leave her linked below, and all the other co-hosts for this readathon below, is hosting something called Halloween-A-Thon, and there's like almost 100 different prompts. It's basically a build your own readathon kind of an idea. There's a board. I'll put it up here. Like, she has done a phenomenal job. And like, there's activities, there's movies, there's all kinds of stuff that you can incorporate into this, and you can make it your own. You don't have to read all 100 prompts. You can pick and choose which ones you want to read, or you can follow on the game board, and when you land on a certain number, you read that. There's tons and tons of different ways to do this. So I'm going to kind of build my own, because a lot of the prompts kind of deal with more spooky-esque, and well, I want to read a bunch of Halloween books. Mine are all going to fall under the realm basically of Halloween romance and a couple Halloween cozy mysteries. So yeah, so I thought I would share all those books with you. As I read them, I'm going to try to slot them into prompts, because I would like to fill out, so the cool thing about this board that's up here is that there's 9 locations, and the whole point is to kind of trick or treat your way through the entire board. So I would like to hit at least 1 or 2 prompts for each of the prompts on the board. So that's kind of my goal. Like I said, there's also activity prompts, there's also movie watching prompts, and I'll talk about that too. So the books that I have, some of them were already on my TBR, and then some of them I built an entire new TBR for. So I think I've got something like 17 books here. Let's see if I can get through all these by the end of October. So the first one is one of my cozy mysteries, and it just so happens it is a Halloween one, and that is The Ghost and Mrs. Muir by Krista Davis, the second book in the Paws and Claws cozy mystery series. I'm so stoked. I love this series so much, and the fact it's Halloween themed makes me extra happy, so I will hopefully be getting to this one. I will be getting to this one sooner rather than later, but I'd like to get to this in October, basically. And the other one isn't necessarily a Halloween cozy mystery, but there's blood on the cover. So I'm pretty sure that that's going to fit for some sort of a prompt. And that is The Cat Who Ate Danish Modern by Lillian Jackson Braun, which is the second book in the Cat Who mystery series. So yay on that one. I'm also trying to read my way through some of my NetGalley books that I have, and there's some that have been released fairly recently, because I am pretty caught up, sort of, kind of. I'm about a month behind on NetGalley. And so anyway, I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4 here that are actually Halloween-y related. So the first one is The Witch is Back by Sophie H. Morgan. This is the first book in the Toil and Trouble series. And I actually have book 2 from NetGalley, but because it's book 2, I thought let's just go back and read book 1. It's also a witch book. So I'm going to read this one. I can get it out of my library, and then I will go on and read book 2, but that probably won't be till after October. I don't want to run out of too much time. If I have time, I'll read it. The next one is Love and Other Conspiracies by Mallory Marlowe. This one is I actually own this one as a print book as well. I bought it when I did my little shopping expedition a few weeks ago to the bookstore. And this one is it's about they're hunting Bigfoot. So I thought it's got to be perfect. The next one is Hate Hex by Gina Lamanna, excuse me. This is a Kindle Unlimited book, actually. And I don't know much about it. I've never heard about this author before, but it's a witchy, hexy romance. I asked for it from NetGalley, and I got it. And another one under that same vein is Hot Hex Boyfriend by Carly Bloom. Yeah, this one looks really cute too. Again, witchy, hexy. That's why I'm considering these for the Halloween-thon. And then my reads that I picked specifically for this readathon. So there are 10 books here. Guys, I know I might be overshooting the mark. 12 books, excuse me, 12. So the first one is Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice by Katie Calc, I think. I just talked about this one in my previous video this morning when I talked about what I'm currently reading, because I did start this one. This is a YA contemporary romance about this girl in this small Vermont town that is known for its like fall foliage. Sorry for the background noise. And her and her mom run a coffee shop that doesn't sell the pumpkin spice latte because she thinks it doesn't taste good. And then now this new coffee shop is going to open up, and it's going to be a big coffee chain named Java something or other, and basically it's a Starbucks. And there's a new boy that moves to town, so there's a romance there. And yeah, so far I'm loving it, and the cover is to die for. The next one is Hex Appeal by Kate Johnson. This one, she's written a couple of these, but they're not in a series. They are all standalone books, so I'm really excited about getting to this one. The next one is a reread, but this is one that is this is an October read, and this is a book I feel you could only read in October, and that is A Season with the Witch by J.W. Ocker, and this is a nonfiction novel about Salem, Massachusetts, and how it came to be Salem, like the Salem that we know today, and the witch trials, and how it kind of leans into that stereotype and has really built an economy and a town and a thriving, whatever, from this horrible incident that happened 400 years ago, and how odd that is that they basically murdered these people, but now they are the witch capital, so. But it's a book, I've read it before, I really enjoyed it. It is an October book in my opinion, and I'm looking forward to rereading it. The next is next is a book that I had started a while ago, and I only got a little bit into it because I wasn't quite in the mood for it yet, but I think I am now, and that is The Witch of Willow Hall by Hester Fox. I really like Hester Fox's writing. This is probably the spookiest book I'm going to read here on this entire list. I'm a wimp, basically, but I read another one by her, The Cemetery Orphan, and I really like that one, so I'm interested now in getting to this one. I know she's got quite the backlist, so if I enjoy this one too, I can read some more of her stuff. The next one is another reread, but I absolutely loved it, and that is The X-Hex by Erin Sterling, the first book in the X-Hex series. And all I remember from this book is that it's about three sisters. There's a romance, and it's not about three sisters, but it's about one of the sisters' romance. And the other two sisters have their own books. The newest one, I think, just came out. And all I remember is this is a scene where they're trying to do something, and they're casting a spell, and they're using a candle from Bath and Body Works. Which is just all kinds of delightful. And then a book that I keep meaning to read, but I never get to. We're moving off of the witch thing, and that is Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross. This is the first book in the Stay a Spell series. Everybody that I know loves this book, and I really want to read it, and I'm going to get to it. And then we have another reread. The first time I read this book, I did not like it. I want to like this book, so I'm going to give it another shot. The first time I also listened to it on audio. So if I listen to a book on audio and I don't particularly care for it, sometimes I like to give it another shot, because sometimes audio isn't the best way, in my opinion, to consume a book, especially if it's a narrator you don't absolutely love. It can take something away from the book itself. And that is Small Town Big Magic by Hazel Beck. This is the first book in the Witch Lore series. There are a couple others that I want to read. There's a couple other in the series. And these authors are some of my favorites. I believe it's Caitlin Cruz and... who's the other? It's a duel of authors who have named themselves Hazel Beck. Caitlin Cruz and Megan... I'll pop the name below. I'm sorry. But they both write for Harlequin. I love their books. Why did I not like this one? Again, I think it was the audio. Another one, I enjoyed this one, and I want to I want to read the next two books in the series, but I've kind of forgotten, other than the flying houses, what happens in this book, and that it's got witches in it. And this is The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels by India Holton, the first book in the Dangerous Damsel series, so yay on that one. And then I have Witch of Wild Things by Raquel Vaquez Gilliard, I think is how you say her name. I have no idea what this is about. I think this is more on the fantasy side of a witchy romance. Like, some of these witchy romances are contemporary, whereas I think this one really kind of leans more to the fantasy aspect of it. And the last one is going to be another reread, but this is one of my favorite books, and I can read it in like a couple of hours. It is Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell, which is a graphic novel, and it is another young adult romance it takes place over the course of one night of Halloween night, and these two teenagers who work in this like a pumpkin patch kind of thing that has all these like rides and food and all these things to do, and it's their last night, and she's got a crush on him, and she's trying to, the whole night she's trying to tell him, and it's just delightful. So I absolutely loved it. Two others that are not necessarily for Kelsey's readathon, but for Storm's. So Storm over at Storm Reads is also hosting in October the Halloween-A-Thon. Not Halloween-A-Thon. I think it's just Hallowtween. She's done this for a few years now, and basically what she is doing is encouraging people to read spooky middle grade books, which I love, and that will absolutely work for Kelsey's as well. So I'm going to watch some of Storm's videos and see if I can get suggestions for any other books. Not like I need any other books on this list at this point. However, there are two that I want to get to. If I get to at least just one of these, I'll be really happy, and they're both by the same author. So the first book is The Girl in White by Lindsay Curry, and the other book is It Found Us by Lindsay Curry. A couple years ago for Storm's first Hallowtween, I read Scritch Scratch by this author, and guys, it was a 5-star read. It was fantastic. If you're looking for something spooky to read that is middle grade, that one is literally one that gave me goosebumps, that had me looking over my shoulder. It was creepy. So I recommend this author. I've read since then Something in the Woods, and I didn't love it as much as Scritch Scratch, but I want to read these other two. My niece read The Girl in White, and she really liked it, so I'm hopeful. And then, like I was saying, you can also do activities and things like that for Kelsey's readathon, stuff like eating candy, I guess dressing up, like make it your own. I jokingly thought to myself last night that on my bingo board I'm gonna get a new heart, because deep in my gut, like, I just have this feeling that the transplant's gonna happen at the end of October. I just have this feeling that I'm gonna be transplanted at the end of October. So I think that's pretty creepy, though, don't you? I think that fits. Kind of Frankenstein-esque, if you will. I also hope to watch some scary movies. We are subscribed to Disney Plus, and they have a whole catalog of scary, spooky movies. So I know for sure I'm going to rewatch Hocus Pocus. I'm probably going to rewatch the original Beetlejuice. I don't know if I'm going to watch Hocus Pocus 2. Let me know below if you guys have watched it, if it's worth it. I am a die-hard fan of the original Hocus Pocus, and I'm so scared of being disappointed in number 2. So that's why I haven't watched it yet, but let me know. But Disney Plus has so many other like kid-type spooky movies that I'm going to try and watch as well. I'm going to go now because it's getting loud in here. They're bringing in stuff for this event. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Happy Halloween. Let me know what you're reading if you're participating in either of these readathons. And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you again so much for watching. Bye, everybody.